Hello, and welcome to HIMAX Simulator Walkthrough Training Module 02. In this module, we will cover missions 1, 2, 3, and 4 of HIMAX Simulator. Before that, let's quickly recap the basic settings that will be used in this run. WASD for movement, Shift for boost and boost cancel, mouse with left button to fire, E to toggle night vision, C for countermeasures, space to shift between weapons, and scroll wheel to zoom. Now let's begin Mission 1 and cover something you'll see as soon as you begin. Take a look in front of you. What are these friendly units? What's their job? Let's go in detail. The Type 12 here sits at the middle of a pyramid of support. It is surrounded and enforced by 3 specific vehicles. For command at the top, the CCV vehicle. The CCV vehicle acts as a mobile command post and control center for commanding the HIMAX. It provides mission updates, orders, and support fire. You might think, but I can't understand the orders there in Japanese. Well, this is true. The role of the machine is still vital, and in real life, the support of the vehicle still needs to exist. Just as AWACS provides a massive boost to jet fighters, the HIMAX can function alone, but with a CCV gains a massive coordinated advantage. Important note: the destruction of the CCV vehicle will result in mission failure on any mission where the CCV is present. Combat means more than just yourself. Combined arms means as many or everyone must come back alive. As mentioned before, the CCV is also where to request support fire if needed. Some missions have no CCV, while others have specific uses for their CCVs. These will be covered on a case-by-case basis. At the bottom right of the pyramid is your supplies and support vehicle, the CH-47JA Heavy Lift Helicopter. These units, attached to the Type 12's platoon, carry fuel, ammunition, and can make field repairs on the HIMAX. For this obvious reason, anytime a map has that square waypoint, look out. This may be your best bet at surviving or gaining much-needed ammunition on the battlefield. Prioritizing clearing its landing zone is a valid one, as well as its entry path and exit path. It can take a bit of fire, but while losing it does not lose you the mission, it does severely hamper your efforts. Of course, in real life, it would be a tragic and horrible loss. Like the CCV, don't let the abstractions of the simulation impair your judgment here. Finally, at the bottom left is the sensors unit, the RFV, or radio vehicle. As you will note, the Type 12's need for speed and general body plan leave minimal room for intense radar arrays or large sensors. This means that outside of its general radar and visual fields of awareness, you do not have the constant ability to keep tabs on enemy units. Here, the RFV is your ally. Especially designed AUGs focused on radar coverage, this unit acts as a long-range, constant spotter. It is relatively mobile and has somewhat respectable armor. It's also armed with a machine cannon for defense. However, it's not invulnerable. Once again, losing this unit will not end your mission, but it is a great loss for your spatial awareness. Enemy helicopters in particular will try and focus down the radar vehicles and destroy them. These vehicles can be the difference between detecting and destroying an enemy unit, or having it overwhelm you. So like the supply helicopter, or CCV, all these members of the pyramid that support the central HIMAX all have the same moral. Keep your friends alive because it keeps you alive. The CCV for command, the CH-47JA for supplies and ammo, and the RFV for situational awareness and enemy detection. Together, these 3 units comprise the average formation that supports and goes into battle alongside the HIMAX. We will now show you the first few examples of more passive mission progression, then more skilled, aggressive, optimized versions. Later on, we will probably only be showing optimal aggressive means of completion. Those later levels spike in difficulty so greatly that there is no way to be passive. You must be an aggressive pilot by that point. Now let's move on to Mission 1, Mongolia. This mission is a straightforward smash and move setup. Proceed forward and destroy all enemies to complete the objective. Get a good taste of movement, detection, and combat. Here we should note the difference between the baseline completion of the mission and the more advanced method. First up, let's show you a bit of the baseline as we are seeing now. Waiting at waypoints until told to advance. meeting the supply helicopter despite the general plentiful nature of arms. Now let's shift to a more experienced pilot and how they would complete the mission to see it in full. Notice here the first of our helpful tips. Rapidly switching to radar, then back to gun, will illuminate targets and allow for a few shots before they disappear. Use this to do a spot, then shot approach to hitting enemies. Another helpful tip. Using elevation enables a longer range of shots, better arcs, better sensor use, unhindered by terrain. And that is that. Mission 1 is really quite forgiving and something of a curb stomp, showing just how hard the Hymax can trample down uncoordinated Augs in armor. Now let's move on to one of the simulator's most dramatic missions, Mission 02. Mission 02 is set in the Ukraine, and it features a direct drop via 3 Globemasters, along with the unfortunate destruction of Scarlet 3. A good lesson to always be on guard during airdrops, as you are vulnerable on the whole way down and on landing. This is another forgiving and large open mission. Multiple resupply helicopter landing points exist. Here we will once again show a portion of a more conservative and waypoint-abiding playthrough. Now let's see the mission in full, from a more aggressive perspective. You will note multiple RFVs are also present and sweep up across the map. Helpful tip: shooting at aircraft is not limited to ATM. Use the MG if the attack jet comes close enough. Lead your shots and take it down with a burst of well-aimed fire. Take note of when and where certain waypoints are being used. When is it worthwhile to use the highly destructive but limited ammo RP? When is it useful to throw an anti-tank missile at a target? When is it better perhaps to use a couple of well-placed shots from the 120mm Type 12 cannon? In truth, much like Mission 1, the enemies here are taken by surprise and are more or less uncoordinated in their defense. This mission is another guns-free sweep operation. At the end of the mission, the top left corner has the last few stragglers returning to try and protect the staging area before being taken out. Feel free here to command your RFVs forward, or use support fire at long range in combination with ATM to destroy them outside the operational boundaries of the mission. Now on to Mission 3. This is the first atypical mission. Set in Kiev, while destroying the enemies is ideal, you have no CCV or RFV to rely on, no supply helicopter. Combined with the dense urban environment, you have to make good use of your situational awareness and night vision to succeed. Here, our more experienced pilot is using a series of controlled jumps to gain vertical vantage points. While in real life, structure should not be accounted on to take the full weight of an OGS, and this is slightly unrealistic, it does demonstrate a creative and good use of 3D movement to position and open up new fields of fire. Nice shot on the jet, also highly unlikely in real life, but a good show of marksmanship. The main takeaway from Mission 3 really is, trying to poke behind cover is fine for urban conflict, but using vertical jumps to ambush and pop-up fire on enemies is very valid. In close like this, you will be able to land devastating vertical shots. Mission 3 in general is really another fun test, but not too challenging. Let's move on to the final mission of this training module we will cover today. Mission 4 is where the difficulty starts to ramp up. A dense forest absolutely coated in enemy armor. However, the goal of this mission is not simply to destroy all enemies. Rather, the goal here is to clear an air corridor for allied planes to pass through. In order to do so, we must penetrate into the enemy's armored formation and take out their Tunguska Spads. These formations roll in groups. At the same time, your RFV and CCV are moving along a trench to the west. You must eliminate any threats to them as well. Your first priority, however, should be in clearing the landing zone for the supply helicopter. Aggressively clearing out enemy armor as quickly as possible is advised. But also be aware, there is only one helicopter resupply area, and it will leave the operational area after a set time. Learning how to prioritize rearming and attacking, balancing that relationship, is on the impetus of you as a prospective pilot. It's one of the most vital skills to develop when commanding the Gungriffon. At the top back of the map is a fortified elevation, along with the first SPAD grouping and enemies along the trench. After clearing it out, you must return south and sweep that area for a second group of Tunguskas. In truth, it is possible to pass this mission with the destruction of some of the Allied jets, but for actual training reasons, you must treat this as a non-option, as many, if not all, must ideally survive. Be aggressive, fight the urge to hunker down, and push yourself to keep moving and attacking. The cover is dense. There are many enemies, but you have the ability to take them out should you master the skill. With either the destruction of all enemy units, or the survival of all 3 flights of 3 Allied fighters, you will succeed in this operation. This concludes HIMAX Simulator Training Module 02. Next time, we will be looking at Mission 5, 6, 7, and 8. A large ramp-up in difficulty exists beyond this point, and many have made it no further than where we are right now. But don't worry, we will go through these missions and continue our progress towards mastering the Type 12 HIMAX and the later armored walking gun systems. Should you succeed, you will be one step closer to being certified as a Gungriffon pilot.